Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more of the NA team battle. Right now, Team Zerg leads 3-1, and we are going into the second portion of the battle. Of course, Team Zerg made out of Jeyun, the former Zerg player, now Protoss, Hawk, Striker, and Machine, a bunch of the best Zergs that NA has, and they're going up against the other team, the Terran and Protoss team, Gypsy, Dragon, Raz, and just 3 Protosses and a Terran. All right, so this match is going to be on Good Night, and we have my good friend Machine in that top right position. And in the bottom left, we have, once again, Raz. All right, I think Raz actually played a pretty good game against Hawk. He just lost some High Templars at a very inopportune time. If it hadn't gone down like that, like if Hawk hadn't like split off one Muta while the Corsairs were chasing him and ran around and killed off the one High Templar with 2 Storms, and then, you know, there was like a mess up with the Storms as he attacked into the Hydras. If that hadn't happened, I could have seen the game maybe going the other way, right? Like 2-3 Storms makes all the difference in Protoss vs Zerg. So important. So, you know, a great play by Hawk, a mistake there by Raz, and he was the one to drop that game on Ascension. But here he is against Machine, and I'm looking forward to it because I didn't feel like Raz was playing a bad PvC. Of course, Machine, always known for his macro. He's not as much of a cheeser or rusher. He likes to macro up. He likes to get strongly into the mid game and then the late game. And we'll see if he's able to do that here. Would love to see a nice big macro game here on Good Night. Definitely one of the better new maps, in my opinion. I've been liking the games here overall. The expansions are just kind of interesting, and that middle area, I want to see how that ends up playing out in like really big games. And I'll show you the middle area as we get there. In case you don't know, I know Good Night is a very new map, but we have been casting a decent amount of games here on the Artosis Cast channel. Which, by the way, thank you so much for tuning into the casts. I'm just kind of trying out some different types of content on it from time to time, right? Like I normally do some Korean procasts, but we have had some top non-Korean players, and of course this is some of the best players in North America. They're very, very strong. Everyone capable of that S rank. So let me know in the comments how you're enjoying the NA team battle. All right, so right now, Machine sending across these Zerglings. Obviously, you know, this is not something I think Raz should be too scared of. He's about to have a second Zealot. It can be annoying, though. If you miss micro at all and these Zerglings pick off some good kills, then that's going to be a big issue. So second Zealot pops out. And I think you should micro this a lot as Machine. He's actually a very quick player overall. Oh, I see actually on the APM counter, Raz is pretty quick as well. But yeah, Machine has always been a pretty fast player and able to do things like some Ling harassment while macroing at home pretty well. So we'll see if he's able to get anything. Like he's hit the gateway a little bit, but it seems like he's just going to take it easy. Okay, as the probes go back, he goes back a little bit. 3 Zealots out now. I think that might be the end of it for him, realistically. So this game, Raz does have to go ahead and make the forge in the wall, and this was something that I was talking about in that previous game where he did the gateway opener and it was against Hatchery first. He was able to make this in the main, but this could end up dying at some point because of its location. We'll see if that's the case, if Machine puts on that type of pressure. Machine does have over 100 gas, so we don't see a layer yet. We don't see Zergling speed yet. We don't see a Hydralisk den. Okay, there we go. Layer gets started as his minerals pop up. We notice he does have that third base on location, and this is definitely a great base for him to take. If you look, it's very small with 1 ramp, so that's definitely something you can turtle up and will become almost impossible for Protoss to really kill off. A lot of times when Zerg takes bases like this, like you can't really break them as Terran or as Protoss, so you just kind of leave them and say, okay, well, you have that one. Let's prevent you from getting others. Now, Raz, let's take a look. He actually gets the cybernetic score before the cannon, which I'm a big fan of. You got to squeeze in anything you possibly can. He's been producing those Zealots non-stop, so not really afraid of this Zergling pressure. His probe has been able to go across the map, and it looks like it's... we'll see if it can get up this ramp. Oh, nope. Looks like it will end up falling. So good block there by Machine. Raz not going to be able to know whether or not there is a Hydralisk den up here. So that is a little bit problematic. We'll see how he deals with it. Like, Sometimes what you'll do is just send your Zealots across the map and put on pressure in that way, right? Like try to figure out what's going on. You have to be careful about counterattacks, of course. He does have a cannon up, and he has a 5th Zealot coming out that can block this hole. So that could end up working as well. So let's see how he decides to go about this. In the meantime, Stargate is on the way. Sinking gas as well. And, of course, that +1 attack has been started. So the Zealots are actually doing a pretty darn good job going across the map right now. They've killed off quite a few Lings as Machine tries to slow him down. His Zergling speed not yet halfway done. 14 more Lings are about to hatch. So I think he's going to have enough Lings to clear this, but the pressure that Raz is putting on with this is really not bad, right? Like, you're forcing him to make these Lings instead of drones. His economy not going to be quite as strong as he would prefer. But as the Zealots come up, Machine bringing his Lings down to bear. Only 3 drones over here. Yeah, now Raz, seeing the amount of Lings, is going to back up. I'd love to see him get over to a wall or a ramp somewhere. Oh, but he's kind of caught out in the open here. Okay, nice micro there. Pulls down those 2 Zealots. Kills the Lings that were on the bottom as well. Not bad, not bad. But you need to get them so they aren't completely surrounded or they won't trade as well. Okay, he's trying to get up the ramp. And, okay, so that's pretty decent. He did lose a couple before he got up there, but at least these will trade reasonably well up here. And as you can see, they are destroying these Lings that are only attacking 3 at a time. So eventually, Machine does get this last Zealot. Looks like the Corsair going across for that full scout. Doesn't see any Hydras, so he should be feeling pretty good about that. 2 cannons were made overall. 1 in the main base as well that you always want. Some more gates getting added at this point also. So yeah, okay, nothing too crazy happening this game, right? Like some of the standard back and forth that we're used to seeing. Should mention that +1 air attacks is on the way for Raz this game. So it looks like he's read something a bit different. Maybe it was the speed of that sinking gas. Mutas are already being made by Machine, so definitely the right choice here by Raz, whether he knows it or not. Scourge trying to chase him down. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get too much done there. I love the defensive cannons and the mineral lines already for these Scourge that are chasing him back. Muta's starting to pop out for Machine. And it'll be fun to see what he can get done. So right now, Machine is on 5 hatches, or he's going to be on 5. There's the Evolution Chamber coming down. I assume that we're going to end up seeing a Hydralisk Den as well. Yep, just started up right there. So he is going to transition out of this, but we'll see how long he stays on the Mutas. 4 Scourge, 4 Mutas right now. See what type of damage we are going to find in this main base. Just a single cannon. Where are those Corsairs? Here they are. 4 Corsairs. Yeah, the Mutas come in, and I mean, they kill like a probe, but looks like they're going to have to turn around. And you know what? I kind of get the feeling here that Machine's not going to make more Mutas. So this is not like the biggest commitment, but oh, never mind. What I was going to say was this worth it? Like, it hasn't really done anything. He doesn't have the right number to actually fight. But he's making 5 more Mutas right now. So if you're making 5 more Mutas, 6 more Mutas, like, I think you're supposed to make some more Scourge to go with that and, like, dive in and really, you know, as Tasis calls it, Ogre Zerg Gamer, where you just make a mass of Mutas, fly them in, and try to clear everything out with the Scourge. So I think that's what we're going to see from Machine, like a big dive into the main base, right-click this cannon with the Mutas, have the Scourge fly in, force the Corsairs back, and get the damage done that you can. Taking a look back at home, he is getting Hydralisk upgrades now. We have ranged attack +1 as well as Hydralisk speed. Still just the 5 hatches, a little bit older style here from Machine. Not surprising, he's been playing forever. Single DT coming out for Raz, so this could be a game changer. We'll try to keep an eye on that Invisible Man. The Muta's not doing that diving move that I mentioned before, which is making me a bit nervous because +1 air attacks is going to finish up pretty soon, and without +1 carapace on the way, the Mutas and Scourge will just become much worse as that +1 air is done. Okay, here comes the full group of Mutas, 11 of them flying in. The Scourge left to the side. Okay, +1 air attacks is done. These Corsairs are going to have a good time here. Oh, he picks off 2 High Templars, 2 of the very first ones. Now, here come the Scourge to cover the retreat. He doesn't end up killing any of the Corsairs, and he did lose 3 Mutas. But 3 mutas for the 2 High Templars, I think not bad so far. With the amount of mutas he's made, I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more damage, like killing some probes or something like that. But it's like, I mean, just killing off some High Templars at this point is very good, very important as well. Okay, so a Robo coming up, getting ready for those possible lurkers. +1 armor coming as well. Psystorm, of course, already done. High Templars joining the game. We do have a Dragoon out. I didn't notice, actually, if he already got Dragoon range, because he just barely finished the +1 air attack. So, yeah, I guess he couldn't have yet. But if he's going to continue that Dragoon production, of course, that is something that you're definitely going to want. But looks like he's just utilizing these for now to put some damage on those Scourge, and does shred the Scourge overall, forces them back. Oh, here come those mutas once again, diving on top of the High Templars. Oh, he doesn't get that last one. Look at that. 2 storms are going to be preserved. So the mutas end up dying, killing off 3 High Templars total. I think overall this was a pretty good defense by Raz, right? Like, I'm sure every Protoss has a certain feel for how many High Templars they can actually lose in this situation, but I think he did all right with it, especially saving this very high energy one. All right, so Raz backs up. Of course, this is a mineral-only base, so it's not the most important base, but it's so close by, so much easier to take than other ones. It looks like he is thinking about taking it. Machine already has taken his. Back at home, of course, he did spend his Mutalisks and the Scourge, so it looks like these Corsairs going to try to get some kills. Nice defense there by Machine with his Hydras, though. Raz, in the meantime, going to take this low ground location. Again, I think he's going to expand here. Like, I would like to see an expansion here, and then not too long after, an expansion here for that gas base. Of course, this one will be pretty easily defendable because of the single ramp, and the 3rd gas is incredibly important in Protoss vs. Zerg. That's like the only way you're going to be able to fuel the amount of High Templars you need, as well as adding in Dragoons, as well as getting upgrades, as well as getting Observers. All those things, of course, very, very important. Now, a lot of Scourge come down the map. More Dragoons have been made. It looks like the Lurker aspect upgrade is on the way, so we're just a little ways out for that. 2nd Evolution Chamber, a 3rd Evolution Chamber. It's definitely something I see a lot of people comment on, is they want to see more Evolution Chambers from Zerg, so Machine gonna do that for you right now. Looks like that 3rd Nexus coming up. Yeah, and it looks like he is thinking about doing that kind of double expanding maneuver. You know what? As I look at this, I'm actually kind of getting some chills, because so far I've liked this map quite a bit. I've mostly casted and watched Protoss vs. Terran games here. Not as many of the other matchups. Maybe a couple Terran vs. Zergs. But this layout seems all right for PvZ, right? Like, you have this ramp, and like this tiny little choke, which you... Like, choke's this small, you can't really force things through. One storm would destroy it. So, like, being able to get this and this kind of at the same time like Raz is doing, I really like that. I think that's going to put him into a pretty decent position macro-wise. And, in fact, looking at macro-wise here, both of them macroing very, very well, keeping those minerals extremely down. A lot more mutas being added in by Machine. Looks like he wants to try to snipe some more High Templars. A lot of lurkers coming down as he takes his 5th base. Oh, diving in. Let's see how many he can kill. Okay, he gets that one with very high energy. Oh, he gets the other one that dodged him before with the high energy. So definitely gets rid of a lot of storms, but we'll end up losing all of his Mutalisks here. Well, I guess one technically gets away, but I mean, the mutas he made, how many did he make that time? I didn't really check. Was it like 8? He got rid of like 4 storms, I guess, for the next battle, which is... okay. Raz right now kind of set up. Machine starting to attack in. He does have a lot of supply, but this attack in is a little bit clumped. The storm's going down. Some very juicy storms do get hit. But do we have an Observer? I heard the snipes on them. It looks like Machine targets them down very quickly. A flank of Hydras coming in from the other direction. More reinforcements from the north. Machine microing on both sides right now, but Raz pulling his army back together with no detection. He does have to back up. Those lurkers causing some real trouble here for him. All right, well, he is going to stand and fight on this high ground. Another nice storm goes down. The lurkers, of course, getting some pot shots. The Observer coming over, and it's a lot of Dragoons, so he can actually clear this pretty well as the Observer comes over. I would definitely, if I were Raz, get down here and get rid of these immediately. Let's take a look at the economy. He has his gas up, needs to put a couple probes there. Has the mineral base mining very well. Almost 60 probes. Really good. All right, pushing back these lurkers. Forces the unmorph. That's nice. That's nice. And Machine has to get out of here. Morphing just a little bit too close. A little bit too greedy, maybe. Thinking that Raz wasn't going to counter push right away. Let's take a look at upgrades. We have +1. Oh, we have triple forge for Raz. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. So even getting plasma shields, I love to see it on such a big economy. He is definitely going to scale up pretty well this game. And as for Machine, there's a +1 or +2 missiles, +1 carapace. No melee upgrade yet, but I bet you he starts it relatively soon because as you get up into Hive Tech, definitely the Zerglings are going to become a very important part of your army. Now, Machine sending over a couple lurkers to this base, a couple creep colonies going up for some Sunkens, maybe even a spore mixed in as he secures this location a bit better. Raz pushing into the center of the map. He actually has a decent supply lead right now, which is pretty needed in this matchup. I talk about it a lot. If Zerg is close to or up in supply, they are definitely winning in any matchup. Their unit's just so supply efficient. Now, not a lot of defense here, but yeah, I guess Machine turns around. I wasn't sure if he was going to attack to the south. Just a little bit of scuffling going on in the center, as you can see. Raz losing a couple Dragoons, throws a Storm down, gonna retreat. Oh, picks off a High Templar. Nice pick off there. Good Storm, though. Counterstorm getting a Lurker and damaging and killing off quite a few Hydras. Few Overlords kind of kept down here. That melee attack is now on the way. Hive coming up as well. In fact, almost done. So definitely wants to get those upgrades. Adrenal, no doubt, going to be coming. Defilers, no doubt, going to be coming. Guys, I think we're going to have a big, long macro PVC here. This doesn't look like either of them can really kill each other right now. I think Raz's defense is really, really strong so far. Like the way he's roaming around, right? Like he roamed up here, made sure he can get this, leaving a bit of army so that he can get it kind of warped in and online. He keeps going back and forth through the center. Machine, though, coming down with a very strong attack towards his third and fourth base. Oh, he's going to catch this High Templar. Oh, the Storm gets off, though. It's actually a very juicy one as well. Raz's army rotating back right now to try to hold. The cannons should buy him a little bit of time, but can he end up saving this Nexus? This is a lot of Hydra Lurker. Raz coming down. The Observer's going forward. Does start to pull them back a little bit. I think the Nexus will end up falling, but I think also Raz can kill this entire army. It's going to get stuck. Looks like some of his Hydras going up, and they're mostly going after probes. The rest of the Hydras coming down the ramp and being destroyed by Storm there. Yeah, he has a lot of Hydras up that ramp. This is a hard position, and Raz decides, you know what? The Nexus is already dead. Let's go for a counterattack. Now, these Lurkers are not done. They just started, in fact, and these Lings are only 0-0 still. +1-1 is almost done, but not quite there. So this 2-1-2 upgrade's going to help him to cut through this army very, very quickly indeed. He has Observers here, so even when the Lurkers pop, it's not going to be the biggest deal. Great Storm there, even though it gets his Zealot, and out come the Lurkers. Raz going to be able to clean these up quickly. In the meantime, Machine with the counterattack on this third base, going to knock that out very quickly. And is he going to keep going or turn around? Because Raz is going to kill his own fourth base here. Now, it is a mineral only, but every hatchery counts. That is infecting your macro directly. Some great Storms on the defense here for Raz. Oh, my God. Just clearing everything. Looks like Machine's attack for the most part done. Just a few leftover units here. Looks like Raz wants to attack a little bit more into this third base location. Now, units are just now popping out, but, I mean, definitely enough here to break this. It's only a single Sunken. We don't have any Lurkers. We need to see Machine flank into this army to kill it off. If he loses this base, I think Raz is going to end up in a much better position since he does still have this base mining. Look at that. Great defense, too. A couple High Templars stationed there. Now, the drone's being drilled out. That tells us Machine does not think he's going to be able to hold on to this. And that's going to be a couple hatches going down. He's not upgrading anything here right now, so not the biggest deal. A lot of Ling Lurker Hydra moving out now. A little bit of Lurker containment going on. Okay, so I think at this point, Machine has two options. One, he can suicide into here, and if he kills this Nexus, he can definitely still win. Number two would be, like, try to get a containment up that's impossible to break out of. Looks like he is going to go for that first one. Oh, my God. The Crackling's getting on top of these High Templars. Great Storms going off. Oh, my God. The Storms are just crazy right now. Machine trying to run by with this single lurker into a nice position to kill the probes. Oh, he gets it burrowed with 4 health left. And now Raz cannot mine from this location until he gets something up here to clear it out. So that was very inefficient from Machine, but to get the lurker up, it's a risky maneuver. But I mean, it's paying off right now because Raz is barely mining. This is what he has left, right? Nothing here. These few patches. Look at this. He's got enough to make like 5 Dragoons left or something. Okay, his observer's coming up, so he will be able to clear this out. Oh my god, look at that. A ton of cannons being warped in. Raz just wants another base up and mining. 5 cannons are going to be really hard to break on these smaller economies. Okay, finally clears this. Can get back to work with his probes. This standing army is too big, though. I think he's going to end up taking it, right? I'm trying to think of like how you would go about winning this game as Machine. You'd basically, I think what he needs to do here, yeah, Mass Lurker seems about right. Like he doesn't have the Defiler Mound yet, so I think it's like he doesn't have time or money to get into Defilers because that's obviously a great comeback mechanic. But definitely Mass Lurker Burrow is going to be important. You know, Lurkers are like one of the hardest things to attack into. And so if Raz really screws up an attack into them, I think that's where Machine might be able to start to come back, right? Like if you lose this army, even if it kills all these lurkers, suddenly it's like, okay, well, your economy isn't here really, Raz, right? Like you got this 1 mining base and Machine actually has just as much. All right, so it looks like he tries to go up here. As you can see, I mentioned before, these are very hard bases to break if you actually have the defense up there. 2 sunks, 2 lurkers, pretty strong. Going to come up here. Let's see how efficient Machine can be. The observer is there. He pulls it back. Oh, that storm just crazy. Breaks through a ton of the Hydras right there. Starting to send Zealots up. Storm goes down. Another storm as well. And I think that this is just about it, guys. It looks to me like Raz is going to take this game down as he pretty efficiently clears Machine's mass lurker play. And I tell you, this was a good one. Very back and forth. A lot of action. But I think the counterattack from Raz may be a little bit too strong against Machine, who he's still trying to hold. Like, he's bringing in all of his units from every direction here, but these upgrades, magnificent. 3-2-3 upgrades for Raz. Pushing forward with these Dragoons. Very, very little left over. Right, there's like 7 Hydras being made. I guess if your goons aren't going to attack, you can still lose this battle, but with this Nexus up, Machine sees that. He sees this one's mining as well. Not many chances left right now. Except, of course, Dragoon's just not attacking. Alright, the storm goes down. And yeah, it's the last few units. Maybe Machine not really reading how dead he truly is, but we can see it. Twice the supply right now for Raz. And yeah, the last lurker falls. Hydra's pushing everything back a little bit. Is there any chance with Machine getting this base up? A couple lurkers up there? I don't think so, right? Like, he's just ridiculously upgraded. He's actually about to have +3 plasma shields, which I don't even remember the last time I saw that. It's just so rare. Right, so yeah, getting another base up here as well. Looks like some Hydras and lurks coming over. Yeah, no, he can't even come close to breaking this. Maybe this is what he needed to see. Maybe he thought, okay, I hold that, I kill this Nexus, and suddenly it's 1 base against 2. But no, with those cannons there, that is not attackable unless he gets drops, which is a little bit too much money for him right now, I think. Yeah, Raz just kind of defending, making sure he has this. So that's 1, 2, 3 well-saturated bases. Nothing left here, nothing left here. And then on... Oh my god, he didn't have Dragoon range the entire time. Okay, well, we did mention before, right, when the +1 finished, I'm like, oh, he didn't get Dragoon range yet, but he actually forgot to get it this game. Crazy. But yeah, Machine right now droning up pretty darn heavily. Wants to get that economy back online. He did take so much damage before. Just going for that mass lurker defense once again. Let's take a look at his upgrades. 1/1 on Lings, not too bad. +1 Carapace and +2 ranged. He does have +3 ranged on the way, which obviously with the Lurker Spines will do really, really good damage. Yeah, I think we're waiting at this point for Raz to make that killing blow. As you can see, what is this advantage? It's like 70 supply, so that is 35 more units for Raz as he goes to the north. Okay, he should be able to break wherever he wants. I think breaking this first is probably the best way you can do it. Well, he's gonna... Yeah, the Spore, it makes it a little bit more tricky to break out. Look at this. Good spread on the Lurkers. Machine trying to set up his defense as best he can. Oh, looks like we had a Storm drop in there. Killing off a ton of drones there for Machine. Just getting more and more hurt throughout the game. Hydralis Den having to be remade. I hadn't even noticed that he had lost that. And he is actually... Okay, so here's where it gets a little bit crazy. There's a Defiler Mound on the way. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, if you get Consume and you get Plague, like, suddenly, it's anyone's game again. I'm not even kidding about that. Like, the Defiler is the best unit ever made in any game. Literally. Okay? If this was a microtransaction game, that would be the unit that costs like a ton of money that everyone has to buy or you can't play anymore. It's so insane, right? Like, Darkstorm just gets rid of Dragoons completely. Plague just completely busted against Protoss. That would be the moment where suddenly, you know, this game where I was like, oh, I think Machine is dead. It seems like maybe you should exit or something. I mean, if you live up into Defilers with Consume and you have this many Lurkers and Lings, like, we talked about how many units extra we must have here for Raz, but like, look at how many Dragoons he has. Like, he has more than a whole group. So we have 13 Dragoons in this main army, or 14 Dragoons even. That's 14 units that do literally nothing here. They can't hit under the Darkstorm at all. And then you have like Zealots, which are going to get plagued, basically fighting alone, and then Archons, which Archons are actually ranged units that have splash damage. So they do damage under Darkstorm, but it's not the best damage. You do have, of course, the Psystorms, which are going to help out quite a bit. Ooh, nice one there. That hits actually 2 of the Lurkers. Just storming down anything he can right now. But yeah, see with the Darkstorm, it's like these Dragoons don't really do very much. Machine has to continue this, though. He cannot let the Darkstorm up at all. He needs that non-stop. Okay, gonna move forward. Oh, okay, runs right up and throws next to the army. Targeting down any High Templars is amazing. He actually gets one there. Raz, during this, though, he's expanded here. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, my God. He's going to get into Reaver Tech, which is a great counter against the Darkstorm type play. But, yeah, he's going to start to fight here. The Archon Zealot should be enough. It's doing a great surround at the moment. Do we have enough to actually fight? Lurkers coming down. Going to go ahead and burrow. Oh, they go all the way under that Darkstorm. How many Zealots do we actually have left? It's hard to see here. Storm goes down on those Hydras. Okay, I think that's finally it. Every tech has been defeated. GG, Raz takes down Machine.